Welcome to our Endowment Sunday training. We're glad that you're here to learn about how to make the most of this really exciting opportunity for our Archdiocese, where Archbishop Hartmeyer has offered to increase awareness across the Archdiocese for our parish endowment funds, all endowment funds really. But this first initiative is really, our hope is that the parishes and organizations will allow for awareness and education and excitement of the benefits of their organization's endowment fund. So we thought we would just take a few minutes of your morning to walk through some of the resources available to you all, answer any questions you might have about how to make the most of Endowment Sunday 2023. And here's the agenda that we have for today. Just again, we will keep this to 30 minutes. And with that, we will center ourselves and start our session with prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Almighty God, we thank you for all the gifts you have given us, our lives, our loved ones, all that we have, and all that we are. Most of all, we thank you for Jesus, your Son and our Redeemer, who came among us to show us the way to eternal life. Jesus was the perfect steward of your gifts, showing that complete trust in you is necessary, and that giving of self is a most important part of following him. May the offerings of our time, our talents, and our material resources be made in the same spirit of sacrifice that Jesus taught us by his life and death for us. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit.
For those of you who don't know us, Julia Greco,
I'm Angela O'Donoghue,
the Catholic Foundation. So 30 years of helping Catholics make a lasting difference. So again, we are here today to encourage the long-term sustainability of your important organizations, your important parishes, to grow our Catholic Church and to increase the impact in our ministry and the work that is done and in our community. So for 30 years, again, we have worked with growing endowment funds at each and every parish and mission in the Archdiocese, all Catholic schools in the Archdiocese, and many important organizations, nonprofit organizations. So what we do that through education, through awareness, through our marketing, on our website, and various other communication vehicles. We're also the planned giving partner of the Archdiocese. So we work with each and every one of you to work with your parishioners, your donors, yourselves, your priests, on how to make a lasting difference in the community, and that could be in a variety of different ways. So we are that partner for you all in that endeavor. So with that, we'll just jump right into Endowment Sunday 2023.
So the first thing we wanted to talk a little bit about are what are endowments. I assume that most of you on the call know this, but to have an Endowment Sunday, it's important to be able to communicate their importance to your parish communities. So just a couple of things that we wanted to point out about endowment funds is that they're perpetual, they're for the long term. It's different than an annual fund. It's just another toolkit to assist with the sustainability of your parish. And each of the endowment funds, every parish is the sole designated beneficiary of your endowment fund. So your endowment fund is just for your parish. It's not going to go to another parish. So that question comes up sometimes. So I just want you all to know the answer for that. And then all of our endowment funds, all the endowment funds for our parishes are held at the Catholic Foundation of North Georgia. And so they're invested in line with Catholic teaching. And then distributions or grants are made from the investment growth from that fund. So any gifts made to the endowment fund are never spent. That's part of the principle, and that's protected. And that's what helps those funds grow over time to be able to provide larger and larger grants in the future. Sorry. So a little bit more on endowment funds. So this is a great opportunity for to provide for your parish during economic hardship. So Father Henry Atim, who's on our board, he had correct me if I'm wrong, Juliet. So, but he had a couple at his parish that they were snowbirds, and during the summers they were from Boston, and this parish that they belonged to had somebody that started an endowment fund, and that basically allowed that parish to be able to continue as the population of Catholics dwindled in several of those other Catholic churches that were near them. You know, Boston's one of those cities where it feels like there's a church on every block. Several of those other ones had to close, and this one was really set up for success because they were able to use their distributions from their endowment to kind of make up that shortfall in offertory. So hopefully we won't get to that situation in Atlanta. We'll just always continue to keep growing, but this is an opportunity to know that in the long term, your parish will have funds to help with whatever it is that they need help with. We have done a couple of surveys in the past, and I think this is very interesting. So over half of parishioners say that they would give to their parish's endowment fund if they had one, and over half don't know that they do. So part of, the main focus of Endowment Sunday is education. So you want everybody to know that your parish has an endowment fund and why it works. And statistically, according to these people, if they know that it exists, they will be more inclined to give gifts to it. And then this is just kind of a fun fact. So as we've said before in the last 5 minutes, every parish and mission in the Archdiocese of Atlanta has an endowment fund. The reason that this got set up is that the nephew of Margaret Mitchell, Joseph Mitchell, when he passed away, left a large portion of his estate to the Archdiocese. And then Archbishop, now Cardinal Walton Gregory, decided that it would be a good use of that money to start a fund for all of the parishes and missions to help provide for the long-term sustainability. So since then, if there's a new parish or a new mission, the Archdiocese continues to start those funds. But that's a little bit how Gone with the Wind helps everybody in our Archdiocese. So just a fun little fact. So this year, as we talked about, Endowment Sunday is May 21st, 2023, so coming up. And the point is to raise awareness of this, and there's also an opportunity to fundraise for it as well. So the focus of, as I just said, is education, but if you want to do a second collection or have a basket in the back for collections or point people to your website or our website for your fund, that's a great opportunity to do it too for those who are interested. After this, if you're not already registered, I'll send a wrap-up email, and we have a little link to indicate to us to let us know that you guys will be participating, your parish will be participating. And we will do a drawing out of everybody that registers and does some promotion for their endowment fund for a chance to win $500 for your endowment. So you don't have to do everything in the toolkit. Obviously, that would be great. But if you're actively promoting your endowment for like the month of May, you'll be eligible to win $500 for your endowment fund. And on our side, obviously, we're doing a lot of promotion and outreach to parishes, and then we'll be promoting to donors for them, encouraging them to participate for their parish in the Georgia Bulletin and also on social media. We'll also have some graphics and things that you can customize for your parish, but we just want to know that we're trying to help support everybody in this endeavor. So those are two of the things that we'll be doing. And then all of our resources are on our webpage. So I'm going to see if we can make this work in just a moment. Well, you don't have to click it yet. Sorry, we're working on our webinar skills today. But just a couple of things that are on that website before we go and look at it. We have the full toolkit, which is available in English and in Spanish. It's completely translated. So if you do bilingual bulletins or newsletters, you can find where those things match. If you are like me and you have like a little bit of Spanish from high school, or you have no Spanish, they're in the same order, so you can copy and paste with confidence. to share those promotions. There's also a communications timeframe. We have newsletters or bulletin articles that you can copy and paste. We have a Mass Talk script as well. So if somebody from your parish is willing, or you even just want to have the priest or deacon do it, at the end of Mass, there's a script for that. We have sample prayers of the faithful that you can use, include all of them or just some of them that weekend, as kind of like a spiritual tie-in for helping your parish. And then we do have some of the graphics that are in the toolkit are also on the website for you to download, and those are available in English and Spanish. So Julia, if you'll click that and we can just take a look. Which is not going to work because I only shared the screen. Okay, we'll come back and do that at the end. So that's
work.
my bad. Yeah. So go back to the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then next.
Oh. There we go.
Okay. So we'll come back and do that at the end. And kind of cover what's on it, but it's just to give the visual. So a couple of tips and tricks that we wanted to talk about for just general and promotions, but especially for Endowment Sunday is there's this concept in the world of marketing and communications called the Rule of 7. And it basically says that a prospect needs to hear or see the message 7 times before they'll take action. It was like a very popular marketing idea in the 50s. And basically they've kind of been like, well, there's really nothing about 7, but I would say like it's going to take people at least 7 times hearing something. But some people do less, some people do more. So I just want to encourage you that even if you feel like it's a little bit repetitive, most people are not going to see it all of the times that you're going to. So that means that you should be promoting it on multiple channels, multiple times. So a couple of times in the bulletin, if you had social media for your parish, a couple of times on there. If you have TVs in the back that flip through things, we would encourage you to put it on there just so people continue to see it and bring it to the front of their mind. Every parish also has a direct link for their endowment fund. So if you need help finding this, please just reach out to us. It goes on the quarterly reports, but we're happy to send it to you one-on-one, no problem. And we would just encourage you to have that option for giving. So people can go ahead and make a gift right now to your endowment fund online. And like I said, everybody has a direct link. So if you just if you can direct them to our giving website, which will have our giving page, which will have all of the funds, but we can give you the URL that will be just to your fund. So it's easy, it's less clicks for the donor, so less clicks, easier. And just to put that on your website. We also have some suggested wording for that. So I know some people just include the link to the fund, our link to the fund, the direct giving link. But I do know that some people, if they have like a payment page, they just include it as an option. So we have a really, really brief description, or if you're going to put it like on a web page, we have some more wording, because we do know that endowment funds take a little bit of explaining. So if you need any of that, we're happy to help you with that. And then we do have customized parish brochure, endowment fund brochures. So if you need that link or you need that file, we can help you get some of those just to put in the back of the church if you have other information about like joining the church or other things that are happening. Just a trifold brochure that talks about ways that they can give. So most of this weekend is kind of focused on current giving, but if somebody wants to give something more complicated, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Those brochures are a good way to get people thinking about that. And then we would also encourage whoever gives a talk at Mass. So if it's someone from your finance council or your business manager, just to have them in the back of the church to answer questions. So, we did put a lot of information in that Endowment Sunday toolkit. So that is a great resource. But if you get questions that you can't answer, please just have them contact us. We're happy to answer questions and give it a longer, fuller explanation if that's what people are looking for. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Juliet.
Thank you, Angela. So after Endowment Sunday, what are some suggestions? So it's important to share the results, or if you do a second collection, if you collect gifts, it's always good to share in the success, to let people know what their contribution did, collectively. So that's always important to share. Also, for your particular endowment fund, annually, you may have the ability to take a distribution. So when you do take that distribution, celebrate it. Let your parishioners know what that money was used for, how that money from the endowment fund was used to benefit the parish. And then it makes it real, it makes it tangible, that this endowment fund is not only for the future, for future generations, it's for the now. It benefits the parish and the parish community today. So I would highly encourage you all, if you do take that distribution, to celebrate it. Here are just some examples of some parishes in the Archdiocese that have been actively growing intentionally their endowment fund. So St. Brendan the Navigator in Cumming, they've been doing a 2-second collection, actually utilizing this Endowment Sunday toolkit. We've created it, we've just continued to tweak it, but we've had it for a couple of years as, again, a tool to just generate excitement, and awareness around the endowment fund. So they're one of our one of our first parishes that has implemented this program, and has been very successful for them. So it starts with some smaller gifts, and each year there's just, and they do it twice a year, so there's more and more gifts and more awareness for it. St. John Newman, one way that they increase grow their endowment fund is all memorial money goes to the endowment fund. So that's one way that they have policies in place in their parish, to actively grow the endowment fund. St. Lawrence in Lawrenceville Parish, they have utilized any fees from rentals of the church, for quinceañeras, for weddings. All of those fees go to the endowment fund. So we get checks from them every, couple of months or so, and that those funds go to the endowment fund. So these parishes are seeing growth. So we recently, the Catholic Foundation recently spoke at Pulpit Talks at Transfiguration and at St. George in Noonan, and we spoke at some of the masses and just utilized basically that same pulpit talk that is in the Endowment Sunday toolkit. And then we stayed at the back of the mass, and we were so pleasantly pleased with the amount of people that came up afterwards and said, I didn't know that my parish had an endowment fund. How can I give to it? Or how can you help me with language to include the parish endowment fund in my will plans? Can you help me with that? And it was just very, very positive for people to understand and know that their parish has a plan for the long term. Sacred Heart in Milledgeville, they again have a policy and really an initiative. Every month they set aside money to go to the endowment fund, and so we receive checks from the parish on a monthly basis. And Holy Trinity in Peachtree City did this really great article highlighting the endowment fund and the Catholic Foundation, and maybe highlighted also a couple of the grants that they received from the Catholic Foundation in their recent newsletter. And they called us and interviewed us. We shared a little bit with them, and they had a quote from their pastor and their business manager, and they received a lot of interest on the endowment fund, and they received immediately a nice gift online for the endowment fund. So this is just these are just ways that you can grow your fund in different ways, just depending on, there's no cookie cutter approach. It's whatever works best for your parish and your parish community. other resources from the Catholic Foundation that you can utilize. So we send out, Angela creates these bulletin notes, and they're focused on the endowment fund. There are different ways to give, a variety of ways. The parishes that utilize these bulletin notes see gifts to their endowment fund and gifts to their parish in general, because these notes and these ideas really can benefit the parish in a variety of ways. So I really encourage you. They're in English and in Spanish. These are sent out in the communique. These are all listed on our website, and you can contact us if need be. Again, the parishes where the Catholic Foundation has actually gone in and spoken to the organizations, whether it be the Finance Council, Pastoral Council, they're able to really ask questions if they're unsure, if they have questions about the endowment fund, their endowment fund, about the investing, about whatever it may be. It goes over very well. So any obstacle that's in place is overcome as a result of just having these conversations, having these meetings. So please call us, and we can, we'd love to come and speak to your organizations. We also would love to come to your parish and do a legacy planning seminar. Again, those go over very well, as and we have just a very out of the box or solution or programmatic way to make this really easy on the parish staff. So we're happy to help in that regard as well. We're happy to help in any type of plan giving assistance. We've got, again, tools and wills planning guides, and can have conversations with you and individuals on ways that that someone can make a planned gift that's beneficial for them and then for their parish. And again, the Catholic Foundation, we can help your parish in assistance with different type of gifts. One time there was a parish, their parishioner came to the office and said, "Here's a diamond ring. I'd like to give this to the parish." The parish was like, what do I do with that? So they call the Catholic Foundation. The Catholic Foundation, we can then help facilitate these types of non-cash asset gifts and facilitate, and whether those be, collections, coins, art, different, they can be real estate, it can be just really a variety of different gifts of assets that you may not have the expertise or the time to facilitate. And that's what we do all day long. So please call us. Never say no to a gift. Say thank you, and then call the Catholic Foundation, and we will help you. And then we cannot, miss this opportunity to give a plug for the wonderful program, I Give Catholic, which again, this will be the 7th year. Really, that's amazing. So 7 years of coming together, of celebrating being Catholic on Giving Tuesday, which again is an international day to celebrate and give back to organizations that people care about. They're being contacted by their favorite charities, their universities. Why not give back to the parish? And while it's at the end of year and maybe you're doing other asks, again, the statistics, the data shows that you should not just allow your parishioners, allow them, give them various different ways to give, and let them decide what they want to give to. But I Give Catholic has been very, very positive for every organization that participates, because it brings them together. They celebrate their organization, and they get awareness, from others across their diocese or maybe even other states. Sometimes people receive a gift from Texas or from another state because they connected with your what you were raising funds for, or maybe they were a long-term parishioner, had moved away, and they want to give back to you. So again, signups for that will be in August, and we're happy to help with that effort as well. So we will allow for questions. If anyone has any questions, we're here. If you have any ideas, if you have any, we're happy to help in any way. We
If I can just jump in for a second, the other thing that I would really appreciate is to have your feedback on this. So, we did put together this toolkit. We got go to parishes, so we kind of know like what goes in the bulletin, what goes in the e-news, but you guys are the ones in the trenches. So if there's something helpful that we didn't think about, or if you have any feedback on the toolkit, we would really appreciate that. So we can just continue to improve it for everybody out there. As Juliet said, St. Brendan's has been one of our churches that's used the toolkit in the past, so we incorporated some feedback from them into it, but we would love to keep that going and to keep improving. So our email addresses are both there. The phone number is for the office, and someone will point you to us, but if you have feedback on it, we would really appreciate hearing from you.
And know that this is not just for right now. You can utilize these bulletin notes, these graphics all throughout the year, and you really should. This could be an easy way that maybe once a month you share a graphic online and in your social media efforts on planned giving or on the endowment fund awareness. This is something that, again, that 7 times, that people really react to that. So this weekend is just a planting seeds where everyone is just kind of focused. And we, the Catholic Foundation, will again draw that focus and then education to the Endowment Sunday. So take advantage of that on May the 21st, but also utilize these tools throughout the year to encourage people to think about their parish in this way.
Yeah. Does anybody have questions? I'm going to go ahead and pull up the website, but if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat, whatever you prefer. Okay. If everybody can see that. So this is the page on our website. So talks a little bit about when it is, how does it participate. So if you have not already, please fill out this questionnaire. It really takes a minute or less. And that just lets us know that you're participating, so we can, if we have any updates, send them out to you. And that is what will enter you into the drawing to win money for your endowment fund. Obviously, you guys are here, so you know about the training. And then down here is the toolkit. So just a couple of highlights of what it has in it. And then this is the toolkit in English and in Spanish. They're in PDF so that it stays the same on everything. But if you need it in a Word document so that you can copy and paste more easily, we're happy to email that to you as well. It's just a little bit of a better practice to have PDFs for the website. Here are the prayers of the faithful. And then this is on my to-do list, but I will get to it today, is that we'll pull out the mass script, the pulpit talk script, and have that there as well. So you don't have to go through the entire toolkit. And then we have a timeline. So this is basically just taken out from the toolkit, but with specific dates for this year for those things that you can work on to promote your endowment. And then here are the graphics down here, English and Spanish for you to use. So this one over here is a business card sized one that's easy to put in the bulletin. The other ones are a little bit bigger, so might be good in a newsletter, but I wouldn't recommend making it too small because there's a lot of detail in there. So yes, that's just an overview of the webpage, and that's one of the things we'd love feedback on too. So if there's something else that you want on there, we're happy to keep improving that.
And I would really encourage if you don't have the Parish Endowment Fund on your website, to please do so. You'd be surprised about how many gifts. This doesn't take away from any other type of giving, but if you make it easy for people to give, they will. So especially with this upcoming weekend and all the excitement around endowment funds, I would have put it on your website to make it easy for your parishioners to give to it. And we have included that link. If you don't have it, you can contact us, but it is included in your quarterly report. So ask your pastor or your business manager if you are not one of the recipients of that quarterly report. I think it just went out last week, I believe. So
yeah. With that, it's 10:31, so we'll wrap up. If nobody has questions, again, feel free to reach out, email, phone call. We are here to help you support your efforts to promote your endowment funds.
Thank you. God bless and have a great day.